So basically, as you all know, inside React.js, we have two different kinds of components, functional components and class level components. So functional components are basically a modern way of writing React.js functions, and class level is the old way. So we will be looking at examples of both these two components here. So in this video, live video. So if you're watching it for the very first time, this will be the Blackboard video, guys. So basically, as you can see here, this is white blackboard and we will be writing a full example here. So let me just, so first of all we will talking about, guys, the functional component here. So basically, first of all, hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So we will be talking about the functional component. So inside React, guys, we have this functional component. So inside the functional component, guys, the very first line we write is that inside, whenever you need to make the functional component, we write like this, which is we first of all write here function. Can you just tell me in the comment section if the voice is audible to you? Basically, can you just tell me in the live chat? So here, first of all, inside the functional component, guys, basically what we write here, basically we say function. So this is a keyword here, which is we declared here function, and then we followed by the here the name of the component. So here you need to give the name of the component here. So basically, name of component. So this name can be anything, guys. Basically, let's suppose we want to declare a simple navigation bar component. So we will write here navigation bar. So here we will simply say that function nav bar. So this is the name of the component, guys. You can see that navigation bar, and then followed by a set of parentheses. So set of parentheses right here, and after this, guys, we will have a set of curly brackets. So basically like this. So this is the functional component, and now to basically export this component, guys, in the very next line at the bottom of this line here, we need to export this component. So what we will say that we will simply write here export default. So export default simply means that, guys, we can use this component in other files. So we can simply say that export default. So here we can simply say export default and followed by the component name here. So here this component name will be navigation bar. So here we can simply say that navigation bar. So the next thing, guys, which comes here inside this functional components, we need to declare the state. So for declaring the state here, basically we have now to render something on the screen, we need to show something on the screen. So for this functional component, we have a function called as return. Basically we have the return function, and then we have the set of curly brackets, this parentheses. So inside this parentheses, guys, you will write all the stuff that goes in the like this. So basically you can just show here a simple div here, which will say hello world, basically. So you can close out this div, guys. So basically you can say here close out this div. So what will be there, guys, if you want to include this component, basically you can now see this is the name of the component function navigation bar, and then basically we have this return statement which is showing hello world, and then we are simply exporting this component which is navigation bar. This is the syntax of a functional component. So when we talk about, so if you just execute this, guys, if you execute this component, the output will be simply on the screen will be hello world on the screen. That's it. So now when we talk about the class level component, guys, so basically the class level component differs by this. So here the class level component, uh, basically this was functional because this keyword here, because we have written here function. So when it comes to class level component, guys, if you see class level, for the class level component, guys, as you know from the name itself, we have the class. So we need to give it a class name here. For this we will simply have a class here, basically class. So if you have any sort of doubt, guys, you can ask in the comment section. So basically here we will have the class followed by the component name. So in this case, component name is navigation bar. So here we will simply say navigation bar. This is the component name. And then there is a keyword, guys, which basically all the class level component extends, which is called as basically this keyword is called as extends. So this is extended. You need to write here for the class level components, which is extends component. So basically like this. And then a set of curly brackets. So class level component, this is the class keyword, navigation bar extends component. So then, guys, inside this, basically now to render out something here, here we were using the return statement. So here the difference is that we need to use the render method. So we have the render method here inside class level component. So inside a set of curly parentheses, and inside this we will have a return statement. So basically we will write the return statement here, return, and then inside this again we will write here. So this will come inside this render method here. So inside this return here you will write the same statement, which is, you can have a div here which is hello world. So this is, you can see that, guys, this is class navigation bar extends component. This is a syntax here, render method we are using here instead of return method. So as you can see here, so basically the first difference is that in functional components return is used, in class level components render method is used, render, and inside this then we have this return statement. So this is the basic difference here. And the second difference, guys, for the, if you want to declare the state here for a functional component, so this is the basic difference, guys, I wanted to tell you about React functional and class level components. So if you want to talk about the state, so the state will be simply so the next point we will talk about is the state, guys. So basically for both the React JS and so basically state is the actual data which is there. State is equal to data. So state is equal to data, guys. So basically for functional component, basically inside functional component, in order to declare the state, we have a concept called as React hooks. So we will talk later about React hooks in a later video, but in order for the state we use React hooks. which is a modern way of declaring state here, React hooks. So basically we use React hooks for declaring state inside functional components. So basically there is a very basic example. Let me show you for the hook here. There is a various hooks out there inside React, but one such hook is very popular, which is use state hook. So this is, you have seen this hook used in various places. So now to declare this hook, it's very easy. Basically it is we just write here const and the const keyword followed by square brackets. So here we will say the name of the variable and then the function to set that hook. So set user. So this is a format, set user, and then we use the use state hook here like this. So here guys, use state hook basically provides the initial value for the variable. So this is the actual variable, which is the state variable that you see, which is user, and this is a method to set this, to change the state. So basically this is a method which will interact with this data, which will actually manipulate the state, which is the data here. So this set user is the actual method. This is the actual variable and this is the actual method which will interact with this data. So now inside use state, you will simply put here square brackets. So here you will put the initial value for the user. You can put any value. Let's suppose you put a string value here, which is John. You can also put here John as well, or you can also put here null as well if you don't want any value like this. This is totally up to you which value you want to use. So this is one such hook guys, which is use state hook. In this way you declare states inside your functional components. Now coming back to the so the class. So basically our class level components, basically we declare the state of the class level components. We have to declare the state by using the constructor. So inside the constructor guys, you declare your state basically. So the constructor may look like basically if you see, we have that class level component. If you write here class navigation bar extends component, and inside this class level component guys, we have a constructor. Basically the constructor, or inside the constructor we will have a, basically we have a constructor here, and inside this the props will be passed here, which is called as actual properties. So this props is actually called as properties. So this will be a function, and here you call first of all super function, and you pass this properties here like this. And then guys, in order to declare the state, basically we have the function which is called as this dot state like this. Basically this dot state, we have that object, and inside this you can declare your variables. This can be either string variables, user, Gautam, or it can even be a integer as well. Totally depends upon you. Age 27. So here in this we declare it using this dot state like this. And now to manipulate this, now to change this variable inside our React.js class level component, we make use of this method which is called as this dot set state. So set state basically manipulates the state. So here you will manipulate the state. So here you will pass an object changing the values of user and age. So in this way, guys, you manipulate the value of the state by using set state. So as we saw in React components, guys, we used hooks. Here we are using set state to manipulate the state. So these are the two basic differences, guys, I wanted to illustrate in this video, how to declare those and how to manipulate the state as well.